like there's gotta be someone who's made some kind of like beat out of the hoe sound. 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 I feel like there's gotta be someone beat out of the hoe sound. Beat out of the hoe sound. Beat out of the hoe sound. There's gotta be someone beat out of the hoe sound. Beat out of the hoe sound. Beat out of the hoe sound. I feel like there's gotta be someone who's made some kind of like beat.
Hello everyone! Welcome in! It is day 6 and I am feeling productive. It's probably because I spent 3 hours today responding to a bunch of really important real-life messages that I've kind of been neglecting for a while. But we don't worry about that! It's time to build a house! I did sleep, Chaos! I slept a good 8 hours and I'm on my higher dose of meds and I ate a hearty breakfast of peanut butter toast. Because it's fast and it has protein. Yeah, sorry, Tuesday. Stream says Chaos was first. Chaos first nerd in chat. Oh dear. My frames do not appear good. I'm gonna fight the internet if on a day that I'm feeling productive, it's deciding that my stream is gonna be not good. I'm gonna keep an eye on that, but that's moderately worrying. Hopefully it's just a start of stream things. I don't think I've got anything going on in the background that would be causing that. We'll hope. Anyways, today's message from the spirits that I have received is that sometimes the thing that you were looking for was in your heart all along. Or words to that effect. I think my heart has blood in it, or maybe in Minecraft it has pixels. Don't know if I was looking for pixels and blood. I don't think it was on my to-do list, but I'll keep that in mind, I guess. Tuesday put a peanut butter chocolate protein powder in their morning coffee on days off. Nice. Alright, starting off strong with a good sleep. I'm thinking that my house should be blue. Because I am the blue lineage. So blue blocks. Chaos with white chocolate sauce and breakfast coffee. Ooh. That does sound good. I love white hot chocolate. Yeah. How's everyone doing? I'm going to see what blue blocks we have available. This is technically a blue blocks. Are we ever gonna really go through all that much lapis? Eventually maybe, but not my problem. We can get like 1 million lapis, I'm sure. Blue dye will be useful. I guess we can grab some blue wool for that. Blue dabba-dee-dabba. And then I think these are all empty. Right, cool. So we have 18 blue glazed terracotta, 40 blocks of lapis, and some wool I can dye. What did I say? I was gonna get distracted gathering resources, huh? Technically terracotta in the raw chest is blue terracotta. Yeah, but it doesn't look blue. Tuesday's tired for no reason. I am so sorry. That was me on Wednesday. I truly could not tell you the difference between Wednesday and today, because I had a good night's sleep both days, and I was on my higher dose both days. I think maybe the secret is that I made myself a schedule today. Like, I often make myself to-do lists, and then I don't do them. Today, I made myself, I gave myself times, and I put the important stuff first. And I actually got things done, and that's exciting. They play a song that's like the I'm Blue song, but they play this at Tuesday's work, and it starts the same, but it's a different song. That is upsetting. Iylo had 2 iced coffees today and is now tired and vibrating. I think that's typically how it goes. Unfortunately. I don't drink any coffee. I got my meds. I think I'd have a heart attack if I drank coffee. Okay, so this is technically, it's so purple though, but the thing is, I do like purple, so I will accept it. And also, we were pointing out yesterday, it is kind of like a purplish blue that I got going on here, so that's, yeah, I'll put that in the palette. So cool. We're gonna build a house with, that amount of blocks. I don't know what that is totaled up. 62, 80, 87. We're gonna build a house at 87 blocks. Sound good, everyone? I also need to pick where it's gonna go. And I think we can sort of like block it out with other blocks and then figure it out from there. We got a ton of dirt. Let's block it out with dirt. This is what I'm always saying, shape before color. I should have a shovel for this. I'm gonna get an iron shovel. Don't think I need my to-do list today. Or my very fancy pick. Torches might be useful wherever I decide to set up. Okay, this seems a good loadout. Drink 100 coffees and you go into hyperdrive. That seems ill-advised. I'm just gonna harvest this, it's already ready. Might as well. Always gotta take care of the passive tasks first. And it gives me a little bit more time to brainstorm. I was thinking a bit more about, like, what kind of magical person am I? Like, we've said wizard, we've said mage. Like, I feel like I don't know. We have Wither Dad's got far sight, so I feel like if I said seer, even though I am receiving all these messages from you, the beyond, I feel like seer could be too close, maybe. Tuesday suggesting blue walls and a contrasting roof. So, like, something in sort of the orange vibe? That could be cool. D has told me that I do well with shape. And so I would like to, I think that's what I'm spending my time thinking up right now is, what's a good shape? Chaos suggests necromancer. I mean, I could try and dabble in necromancy, but I don't know how effective that's gonna be. Iylo says, is Wither Dad an elf? I don't know. You would have to ask Wither Dad. Oh, Tuesdays, your internet being bad again. I'm so sorry. I wish I was an internet wizard. Then maybe I could help. Or, installation wizard, perhaps, is the type of wizard that would help with your internet. Not directly, but, like, that's just, like, you know, a kind of wizard. Oh, Iylo has also had buffering. It could be, yeah, I seem to be dropping frames more often than usual today. I am not sure what's going on with that. I can't think of what would be causing this problem specifically. I mean, I can take a quick peek. Tuesday says something planty but not an herbalist. Iylo suggesting druid. Maybe. Necromancer would be ironic on UHC, you're right, Chaos. That would be funny. Could the stream be not bad? Just a few buffering moments in-game voice chat, having a few moments of stuttering as well. Yeah, it's definitely my internet is having some kind of problem right now for some reason. So I guess restarting stream probably isn't gonna fix it. I might try restarting stream just to see if it does something. So I'll be right back. Hello. I'm back. Fingers crossed. I poked around very briefly to see if there's anything that could be causing the issue. I didn't see anything, so I just minimized everything I'm not actively using, and I'm hoping for the best. I also did a sleep. That's about all you missed. Yeah, here's hoping. No, I just saw it dip. I'm going to become violent. I'm like so energized for this stream. Why couldn't it be dropping in the stream where I was tired and couldn't think of things to say? Well, I guess just let me know if you miss anything that I say. I guess Iylo specifically can let you know that because, you can hear me in-game. Yeah, that's fair having stream muted. Well, you can hear the stutters in my voice thing at least. Oh, there's more dirt. I'm gonna put the dirt in here. That's great. I was checking what was in this chest so I could put the dirt in there temporarily while I go get the kelp, but, that's very convenient. Chaos says you should transcribe in chat. That sounds like a great idea. Alright. Kelp time, and we'll just hope my internet sorts itself out, I guess. I mean, the good news is that it's not my computer. Because if I'm stuttering in-game too, or no, that would still make it my computer, I guess. But, like, no, I don't know. I fixed the internet issue. It's been fixed. I refuse to believe that this is a problem, the same problem that I was having with my internet. It would not make sense for it to be. Quickly learning court stenographer shorthand. Instead of TTS, we get STT. Beepers returns late with the Starbucks. That's fair. Getting distracted by Zombie Cleo, fair and understandable. I was offering a server restart. Maybe. Yeah, it's still kind of dropping in and out. I'll pop to my chatting screen. I'll log out and pop to my chatting screen. There we go. Yeah. The last window update nerfed the drivers. Windows should stop updating. I don't think Windows needs to update. I don't think Windows has needed to update for a very long time. Windows just seems to keep deciding to update. Okay, so the fact that the stream is dropping frames while I'm in chatting and not in the server is, Windows needs to stop vibe coding, you're so right, Tuesday. The fact that I'm dropping frames and I'm not in the server suggests that it is probably not the server. While I'm on chatting, let me just go check and see that maybe it's my partner is doing something on the internet, but I don't know. Let me go see. Yeah, she's literally just making food. So, yeah, she's not doing anything on the internet. But apparently she noticed that the internet was bad this morning, so maybe the internet just bad right now. Internet speed test, give me a sec. This is not what this was meant to be. Okay, internet speed test. Okay. It says ping 26, download 241 megabytes per second, and upload appears to be averaging around 42. Yeah. Good luck, Chaos. Someone who understands the internet, is that good or bad? That seems like normal numbers. Depends on what you're paying for, I guess. I don't know. And I don't remember the login to the internet right now. Yeah, ping was 20 something. I do not remember what we were paying for. I suspect it's the router. Okay, chat, we're putting it to a vote. Do we just wait and hope it goes away, or should I be back in like 15 minutes when my router has rebooted? I don't think it takes 15 minutes for the router to reboot. It just, like, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna have to reboot it, and then I'm gonna have to, like, make sure everything is set up again, because it's gonna disconnect me from everything, and then, like, you know, I always give a little bit of buffer time just in case. Whenever I try to give an accurate assessment, I always underestimate how long things are gonna take. Stream hasn't buffered for a minute. Yeah. It also hasn't, dropped in a little bit. Yeah, it could be that connecting to the server and streaming was like a lot. So I'm gonna hop in game again, and if it doesn't buffer, then maybe it's okay. I'm watching it drop a tiny bit. I think I gotta reboot the router. I'd rather not be dealing with this all stream. I'm feeling locked in, and this is an unwelcome distraction. I'm gonna, yeah. I'm gonna hop in the server just to see, because it only dipped a tiny bit, but it probably is. Let's see what happens. Alright, just giving it a second. Okay, it's not doing anything weird so far. If I see it start dipping a bunch again, I'll reboot. How about that? Hi, Rhythm! We are, sort of dealing with technical difficulties. They might have been resolved, but also, unclear. Waiting to see. We're just turning everything off and on at this point. Alright, I think that's good for now. It dipped. I'm gonna become violent. Alright, well, I've dealt with all the passive stuff, and I'm not gonna bother with breeding the cows, because that's like a I actively need XP activity, and I currently don't. I do need another chest, though. The furnace has some stone in it, which is clearly XP waiting to be gathered, so I'm not going to move it, but I'm just going to put this in here, and then when we can move it, I'll pop it over there. And I'm also going to bring a crafting table over here, because it's annoying that we don't have one. That's just right over there. There we go. Okay, passive tasks are done. Internet currently seems fine. Hopefully. If it gets bad again, y'all let me know. I'll just keep an eye on it. Alright. Mage house. I think we were deciding what kind of magical person I'm gonna be. Mage feels like a bit of an all-rounder. Like, because I feel like even wizard has, like, specific vibes. So, suggestions we got in chat. Hang on, I need to scroll now. Necromancer and Druid are the current suggestions. And Witch. I don't know. Maybe I'll start building, then see what strikes me. Which is pretty good middle ground between Necromancer and Druid. To clarify, wizards cast fireballs, witches brew potions, and heal people. I just saw it dip, like, so far down. It's making me nervous. Fine. Okay. Okay, so I guess... Well, but the enchanter... Because I picked magical person because of the enchanter, and that's what I was gonna, like, focus on, and I guess with all the, like, XP stuff as well, that's sort of, like... Is XP magic? It feels magic related. It feels like... I mean, do I really understand what mana is? Not really, but it feels like there could be some equivalency going on there. So... Yeah, stream came through fine, but yeah, so people are seeing very, very sure. Tim the Enchanter it is. Yeah. I don't want Monty Python come in after me for their intellectual properties. Nah, I don't think that would be an issue. Oh yeah, I guess you can just enchanter is a thing, cuz I'm picturing somebody who's just got like general magical stuff. I mean, maybe I'll get into brewing because I mean, it would be nice to have regen, but I don't have like a specific plan for that now. It's not in my to-do list. Artificer. There are some who call Aspen Tim. Yes, very good. Good references, Chaos. But yeah, Tuesday, that's a good point about looking at the purpose of each of these, like what I do. Yeah, cuz I like okay, so what do I do? What are my magical powers at this point? Let's recap. I built this. I gather XP, and I receive messages from the beyond. Which actually, when you think about it, messages from the beyond, like, I don't think y'all are ghosts necessarily. But like the beyond can that does play a little bit into the necromancer. The other stuff doesn't so much though. Artificer does feel redstone-y, and I don't know a lot of redstone. Enchanter's not bad because it just relates directly to the enchanting table. And I think it gives me room to like diversify my magical magic. Sorcerer or cleric. Cleric is, you can already, there's clerics in this game. They already exist. They're in the villages. Although I guess they are the ones you get XP from. Artificers create magical items, which is what you would do with an enchanting table. There are also witches in the game, that is true. I think I'm not gonna go with witch. I don't, because that would be kind of like a potion focus. You're getting an insight now into what it's like to do a session 0 with me. I mean, is anybody surprised? I'm angsting over minutia again. It's kind of my thing. Alright, so what does a mage do then? Because that was what I was originally saying. What is their primary function? I should start writing this down. Do we have a... I'm just briefly gonna borrow this sign. I don't think we need a sign that says H. Actually, writing this in a book is gonna make more sense. Fine, the sign can still say H. I'll go get my book. Decision-making process. Okay, so let's write out all of them and then do process of elimination. So starting from the top, we had necromancer, druid, witch. What came after that? I guess we were also talking about wizard. Enchanter, artificer, sorcerer, cleric. Okay, mage is sort of a catch-all. Yeah, okay, good. I was using that. Okay, so currently I am a mage. I am currently a mage because I haven't specialized yet. Unfortunately, that doesn't give me very good direction for my build, because we're trying to get more specific so I know what kind of build to do. A mage just a wise person? Thank you, I am very wise. Okay. So I think I'm taking out witch and wizard. Big hats are fun, but I don't think that's the vibe this time around. Sorcerer is like a spells focus, I think. Cleric feels like... Cleric is just also potions, but specifically in-game is like the XP. I'm keeping Necromancer in the options because I think it would be really funny if I was like a Necromancer and I just keep like trying to necromance, but like it's UHC. Okay, so yeah, let's look at my functions. Enchanting table, XP, quote-unquote, farm. My partner was mocking me, by the way. She's like, that's just the intended gameplay loop. That's not a farm. It's not special. This is just how the game works. And I'm choosing to ignore those remarks. I mean, it is just how the game works, but it's like, if you don't want to go through the whole process of making the thing... I mean, I guess you have to go through the whole process of this instead, but like, I don't know. Yeah, I guess there's magician as well. Mage, magician. As vague catch-all terms. I feel like a nature-loving mage like a druid would not make a cow pit. Yeah, you know that's a fair point, Iylo. Probably not. Yeah, I'm not sure if I've really got the like naturey vibes in this one. Have I done anything particularly naturey in this server? A necromancer with those is chaos. You're really kind of convincing me on the necromancer front, not gonna lie. Tuesday sees clerics is dealing with acute issues. If you got a big gash and you're bleeding out, they'll take care of you. Witches are like making cures for common ailments. Yeah, a cleric is like, I feel like a witch is gonna help you with a curse. And a cleric is gonna help you with like a physical ailment. But is it physical versus metaphysical? Is metaphysical the right word? Oh yeah, the other thing I wanted to add in here is that at the end of stream, Iylo said I was scrappy. That's not how you spell it. Scrappy / resourceful. And I feel like that's a specific vibe too. Like, that's kind of why I didn't go with sort of like the wizard vibe, is because I feel like wizards have this like mysticism about them. I don't know. What was the third thing that I said that I do? Oh yeah. Visions / premonitions. I don't know if we need more suggestions at this point. I'm starting to see suggestions that I don't really recognize in the chat. I think we're gonna just narrow down from these options, because there's a few that I'm feeling like good about. Have I done anything naturey? Because I know, I think it was Tuesday who suggested a naturey type vibe. But I'm just curious, like, the basis for that before I fully take that off. Oh, abattoir just means slaughterhouse. Alright. I have killed a lot of cows. How many cows have I killed? Let's find out. Statistics. Mobs. 352 cow. Iylo called me a medium. That's not a bad option. Okay, the page, there's no more room on the page. So this is the options we're working with. Enchantromancer? That just sounds like I give dating advice to enchanted items. Necrodancer. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything particularly naturey. Like, yeah, Aspen skin has, like, the fox attributes, but I have that all the time. I'm gonna take Druid off, because I think the cow pit kind of negates that. Alright, I'm taking mage off just because I'm not gonna go with that as a final option. That's what I am now. I'm currently a mage. My stream is dropping again. Stop that. It's just based on Aspen vibes. That's fair. Actually, I have just now remembered that Aspen is a tree. So that's fair. A kitsune. I feel like that's just gonna be that's like a general Aspen lore that probably will develop at some point. All right, we got it down to 6. So, Necromancer would be funny, and it goes with the cow pit. I'm gonna move Cleric up. I'm just grouping them by reasons right now. Vibes of Aspen the person. Yeah. That's fair. But just the fact that you said my name reminded me I do also have a tree name, which probably contributes to those vibes. Oh, hello, I'm Mimium. I love you. No words, just a little kiss. Yeah, my partner just, came in to say hi, I guess. Enchanter works with the enchanting table, as does Artificer. And then I feel like Sorcerer kind of works with the XP thing. And maybe also the, like, visions. And Medium, I think, just works with the visions. I think I'm gonna take... I'm gonna take Medium off because it only applies to, like, one of the things that I do. And I think it's got too much, like, mysticism with it to go with, like, the scrappy / resourceful. Oh, if I choose Artificer, Chaos is expecting Redstone? Okay, we're removing Artificer, I'm sorry. Enchanter can work for the same thing, and it also works for the other stuff. I think we're honing in. I think I'll take Cleric off because that one only works for the XP, and not as much for the other things. And I think if I put it between these 3, Artificer definitely builds things, Enchanter just takes existing things and makes them sparkly. Okay, yeah, I make them sparkly. Okay, so we'll definitely take off Artificer. Sorcerer feels like spells. I don't know. These 3, I'm stuck between these 3. I just think Necromancer would be really funny. And it does kind of go with the cow pit, which has been a major theme. Alright, between these 3, chat, what do you think? I want to see everybody have an opinion. This will be part of your participation grade. Rhythm says enchanters can be necromancers. I do like the idea of maybe multi-classing, I guess, because I am bad at making decisions. I know what Chaos thinks. Alright, so that's 2 votes Necromancer, vote for Enchanter. Iylo votes for just not Sorcerer. Yeah, I'm leaning the furthest away from Sorcerer, and I'm not seeing any votes for it. So, alright. I'll take 2. Everyone's saying Enchanter or Necromancer. Sure, I'll be both. I'll be a Necromancer for the bit, and I think Enchanter works well for what I do. I'm an enchanter who's trying to specialize in necromancy. How about that? Actually, no, wait, no, that does make so much sense because my enchanting is literally fueled by death. Hang on, why didn't I make that connection before? I literally enchant because I kill the cows and get the power to enchant. Brilliant. We've cracked it. Thank you so much, everybody, for sitting through my process of elimination. I'm a dual-class mage. That's right, Tuesday. Alright. I guess I'm an enchant-romancer then, if that's what we're calling it. Okay, so probably terms that I will use to describe myself then is mage, enchanter, or necromancer, depending on what's relevant. This is my magical stuff that I can do, and that's my vibes. Necrochanter! That's, I think, better than enchantromancer just because enchantromancer just sounds like there's romance in there. Anyways. Yeah, exactly. An enchant romancer? Yeah. Necrochanter. Yeah, I chant about necks. That's better. Alright. So. Great news. Enchanting is blue to me. Because I have synesthesia, and the word enchanter is blue. So, that works great, because, my build is also going to be blue, and that makes my brain happy. Now, necromancer, I feel like, now that word is orange, which is complementary to blue, in the classic color wheel. Better than romancing necks. Fair enough, Iylo. Tuesday is also blue. Are we taking a brief segment for me to tell you all what color your names are? Because I am willing to do this. Tuesday is blue, and it's actually, the days of the week are very interesting color-wise. Because, like, Monday is orange. And, I mean, I'm gonna sort of let you in behind the curtain here. This will remove some of the, this will make it relatively easy for you to figure out what color most words are, but it's generally, not all the time, but generally based off the first letter of the word. So M is red, so you would assume that Monday might be red, but it's orange. And first of all, I never really thought about that. I just was like, okay, sure, I guess it's orange, that's fine. And then I was like, wait a second, that doesn't make any sense. Why is it like that? And I couldn't figure it out for ages until I remembered that one is yellow. Without me thinking about it, my brain just casually combined, okay, so Monday, the word is red, but my brain is like, this is the first day of the week, so it's one, and just put the red and the yellow together and it's orange. All subconsciously. Yeah, I had to find this out, like, this year? Was it this year? Last year? I found this out recently. And so the reason that Tuesday is blue is not because tea is blue. It's actually a fairly pale orange. It's because in my brain, it's the second day of the week. So that's, if you get me talking about my synesthesia, you're gonna get a lot of fun facts like that. M is green for Iylo, but one is red and Monday is red. Okay, so your brain did it too, Iylo! That's crazy. This is so cool to me. But yeah, if everybody wants to know their name colors, just let me know and I will tell you. Rhythm, do you also have synesthesia? Blocks. The human brain is wild. Synesthesia is very cool. As are many other things that the brain does, but just I found out I have it because I was just like poking around on YouTube in like middle school and found a video that was like, these people can smell colors or something like that, or they can see music, and I was like, wow, what? And then I watched the video and they explained what synesthesia was, and I was like, wait, everybody doesn't have colors for their letters and numbers? And then I googled it and I was like, oh, okay, that's fun. Thursday's green for Meepers, because a comic they saw that said, Luigi is the Thursday of Mario characters! What a great reason. Tuesday is normally yellow for Iylo, but he's seen Tuesday in this chat so much that his brain is starting to forge a link between Tuesday and pink, so now it's turning into a general Eastery vibe. That's so cool. Yeah, when I start having associations with a word beyond just like the color, like a name of a specific person or something, then it does start to like become the colors I associate with that person. Blocks though. So we're not gonna we could include some orange because we were saying like having some contrast is not the worst idea. I do like the idea of including this though, just because necromancy, generally has that sort of darker vibe to it. So, I mean, we're probably gonna use some deep slate. We have some, so why not? Oh, Tuesday used to be yellow on Twitch. That's fun. Rhythms talked about the potential and associates colors with things like numbers and names, but not people. Yeah, it is generally based off of the name, which is it's a word association. So it could be synesthesia. Like Rhythm, if I asked you like what color is S, is there like a default color that just automatically comes to mind? Or is it like just vibes? Like different vibes each time, or if there's no color. Iylo intentionally forged a link between the letter I and orange just from seeing his own username in orange so often. It used to be green. Oh, wow. S is weird, it flashes between blue and yellow. Yeah, some of my colors have secondary, or some of my letters have secondary colors as well. It's green or lime for you, Rhythm? See, if it's always like that, and all of the letters are always like that, I'm just gonna straight up say, like, you probably have grapheme color synesthesia. I've seen the stream dropping a few times again. Has it been pretty okay? Deep slate, deep slate, deep slate. I guess I'll grab these just so if I want to try stuff out with them, I already have the stuff that's crafted. Yeah, I figured out my synesthesia by, like, I watched that video, went to Wikipedia, found out that there are more types, and then just read about a bunch of them, and then realized I have, like, 4 different kinds. It's not just the grapheme color synesthesia, that's just the easiest one to explain and, like, generally most interesting to talk about. But I have, like, time visualizations as well. What's that one called? Temporal, I think it's like a temporal spatial synesthesia, where I have a specific way and like shape of time in my head. And my dad says that it's funny that I have that and I still have terrible time management. But my theory is that it would have been worse without it. It's probably why it exists in my brain, is because time is probably just a concept that my ADHD really struggles with. Yes, visualizing time. I know that sounds like people always react like that's kind of like absolutely wild and I should have invented time travel by now. Sorry I haven't. Also, if I ever just learned how to model 3D things, I could probably just build it and show it. I'm not thinking in 4 dimensions here, exactly. But But I have the temporal spatial one. I have ordinal linguistic personification. That's another fun one. So you know, I've got the graphemes, numbers and letters. Yeah, they've also got genders, ages, and personalities. Just cuz. And then I've got, what's the other one? Number line, which I feel like is kind of similar to the temporal spatial one. It's just I visualize numbers in a space as well. And it kind of makes it hard to do math with large numbers because my brain decides to be inefficient with its use of memory and wants to load all the numbers in between the two numbers I'm working with, and that's not great. Rhythm, are you learning something? It's called ordinal linguistic personification if you want to look it up. Hang on, I gotta scroll up in chat. There's been a few messages. Tuesday associates some topics with colors, like subjects in school. It's a very common thing people do, and so many people would chime in on that subjects are what color. Yeah. That's basically how I explain synesthesia to people who don't have it and don't get it, is I'm like, okay, what color is math? And then we'll spend like an hour arguing about whether it's red or blue. It's red, by the way. The more powerful synesthesia that Iylo has is auditory gustatory, so sounds and flavors. So you're the one tasting music. Lime best colors, it rhymes with crime. Thank you, Chaos. Jazz music is raspberry flavored. That sounds delicious, Iylo. Now I want raspberries. And I kind of want to listen to jazz music. Yeah, if I ever learn how to do 3D models, I'm making a 3D model of, like, that you can zip around in, and, like, so you can see what time looks like to me. Meepers can't visualize much in general. I'm like, I can't visualize perfectly, but I can do kind of, like, the gist of things. I've also realized recently, like, if I'm reading something and they're describing a space or just, like, any kind of scene going on, I picture two of them. Like, there's a mirrored version of the scene also happening in my brain. There's two scenes, and it's mirrored. I don't know why I do that. I think, if I had to guess, it's because, like, it's not like in a book you walk into a room and they tell you where everything is immediately. So, like, elements will get introduced in relation to each other, like, in the middle of the scene. And I think having it mirrored means that my brain will go, oh, okay, so they said that the window is on the left side. So then I will, like, focus on that side of the visualization now that I have that context. But previously my brain's, like, leaving the options open. It's, I don't know. It does sound like Rhythm's having a day. Congratulations, Rhythm, on your discoveries. Tuesday used to see Spanish as yellow, but that's been changing lately, might be blue now. I see it as red, but I think it's because I didn't take Spanish till high school, so that's just, like, S is red for me. That's just, so it's based off the first letter of the word. Math is red, geometry is pink. Geometry, interestingly enough, like, geometry, G is red, so it should be red, especially because it's math related, but because it's got the geo prefix, that makes me think of, like, earth and stuff, and that's green. I make it, like, 10 steps outside my house, and then I yap, and then it's nighttime again. For being so productive. I'm glad we have a lot of math is red agreeers in the chat. One of Iylo's friends has aphantasia, and it blows his mind even trying to imagine what that's like. I mean, I guess I can understand it. It's just, like, you know, when you're looking at the world and not looking in your brain, that makes sense to me. But I'm also very much a visual thinker to the point that I've recently realized that ideas kind of come as, like, not necessarily like a tangible image that I could describe to you, but, like, my ideas are vibes, and then I have to, like, translate them into my mouth words as I'm speaking. Which is why I'm not always the most precise when I'm saying stuff. Rhythm can kind of visualize, but not really, because partial aphantasia, some headmates will visualize, others can't. Yeah, that's fair. Tuesday never understood that. What do you see in your head when you imagine an apple? Red apple, kind of cartoony. Iylo says math is green, geometry is cyan. Iylo, I have several bones to pick with your synesthesia. I'm so sorry. I'm gonna at least take these trees down if I'm gonna be yapping this much. Tuesday doesn't see anything, but you know what an apple looks like. Yeah. I don't know, it's hard to describe. It's really hard to describe. I don't know how to explain it. I don't know. There's an apple. It's blurry for meepers, or the presence of an image, but when they scrutinize it to draw it, they tend to find it's not actually there. Yeah, that's sort of my level of, like, I can visualize the thing, but if I try to think of the details when I'm drawing, it's like, haha, psych, you don't get to see anything. It's like, well, okay then. Spanish is blue for Tuesday because when their boyfriend sends them pictures, the sky looks so vividly blue. It's weird, you've never seen such a blue sky, and they're like, oh, that's cool, that's kind of a sweet association. For Iylo, mental images are more vivid and detailed than reality and often include colors and things that aren't really there. Like an apple is usually like physically there, hyper realistic and red, but swirling with pink and blue colors around it. Wow. So you're like deep in your brain there. Tuesday can imagine the concept of an apple, but not seeing anything at all. Yeah. Another thing, getting back to synesthesia, is there's associative and projective. So there's some people who actually like will like see the associations, is what I've been told. Or maybe maybe it's the autism literalism and it's just seeing it mentally, but like I don't see the colors projected onto a page when I'm reading, but I still know the associations are there. As far as I know, I have associative synesthesia. It's related to visual things, but I don't, like, see them in my physical environment. Iylo's brain is imagining the fruity flavors and tastes and making colors appear because synesthesia. That makes a lot of sense. Why the visualization would work that way. Rhythm's brain needs more info in order to visualize. Yeah, that's fair. Iylo says reading words makes the word itself appear in his mind, and that's where the color gets applied, not like literally in front of my eyes. Yeah, same here. Locked in on sorting items. Tuesday can imagine many apples in concept and don't know where that falls on the scale. Yeah, I don't know. It's cool though. I do have, again, this is Wikipedia research, but I do have, what Wikipedia calls, closed eye visualizations or closed eye hallucinations. which is a little bit of a misnomer because they can also happen while your eyes are open. Oh, 1 second. What is Automod mad about now? Brains are funky little meat chunks. They sure are doing stuff. But yeah, like, it's... I don't know, when you close your eyes, is it just, like, dark? Or is there, like, images swirling around in there? Because I have, like, anytime I close my eyes, there's, like, swirling shapes and colors that are always just, like, moving around and stuff. And it's kind of fun to watch. Like, I'm closing my eyes right now. And once sort of the after images of just sort of what I've been looking at, because, you know, I've been looking at a screen that's brighter than what's around it. Once that fades, there's kind of these, like, it's mostly orange, because I assume that's, like, the back of my eyelids with some light showing through. But then, there's sort of, like, purple that comes in, and it's kind of blobs, and they just kind of, like, slowly, like, shrink into each other. So, like, the purple will shrink and the orange will surround it, and then the orange will shrink and the purple will surround it. That's usually the one that shows up. But I also sort of have, like, the open eye ones. It's not to that degree that I just described, but when I was younger, I used to tell my parents, I told my parents that I could see air. This is not true. It's just like these random dots that are just always present. It's not visual static, though. The distinction is that visual static actually obscures your vision. This is just kind of an overlay. Like when you take a photo in the dark with, like, high ISO and it's a bunch of graininess, it's kind of like that, but just always overlaid. And it is easier to see in the dark. But yeah, the dots have always been there. They are always there. I don't think about them much. Darker colors like purple and black are not as common in Iylo's word association synesthesia, because when the word does appear, it appears against a background that is, like, purple on the edges, black in the middle, like a PowerPoint gradient. Oh, that's interesting. I think my visualization space in my brain is just kind of the void. Alright, Iylo closes his eyes, usually dark, but after a few seconds, some black and white swirls appear. Always thought he was seeing, like, swirling blood in his eyelids or something. Yeah, that's sort of what it seems like, too, but there's some people who would get, like, really intricate stuff. Meeper says closing their eyes is disorienting. It's like constantly shifting bismuth. Ooh. Tuesday just straight up sees black with a hint of orangish pinkish color. That's probably your eyelids. Oh, Meepers has that too. The dots. Cool, we're dots buddies. Alright, let's do a build. I think that's what we're here to do. Like, hour and something after I started stream. Where would, Necrochanter put their base? I feel like I should put it near the source of my power. The cows. I don't want to put it on top of the hill because we've got a nice, like, beacon going on there. And I don't want to build over top of it because I think that would be really annoying for anybody coming to pay a visit who isn't like me and just has passive mob sounds forever turned down. Tuesday only gets dreams a few times a year, too? Your brain just said no seeing for you. No imaginary seeing. Only the real world. I'm so sorry. I mean, the good news is you might have dreams, you just might not remember them. We dream a lot more than what we remember. Typically, if you remember a dream, it's because you're woken up, like, at a particular point in the REM cycle that allows it to be easier for you to remember. That's why they fade so fast once you've woken up. So, you might... All Tuesday got was depression. Oh! I mean, if you want, I had a tip shared recently for lucid dreaming, actually, which, I mean, I don't know if it would necessarily help if you actually aren't dreaming, but if you're dreaming but just not remembering, I mean, lucid dreaming would probably help you remember. Is develop a habit while you're awake that's like kind of weird and you specifically associated with dreaming. It's like the person who was talking to me said every so often he would just stop during the day and count his fingers, just like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And he was doing that specifically so that that would be like a regular thing that he regularly does, but he thinks about dreaming when he does it. So then, once it becomes normalized in his brain includes it in his dreams, and then he's like, oh, wait, I'm doing the, like, check if you're in a dream thing. And then his brain kind of kicks in, and then, boom, now you're lucid dreaming. Pro tip. Chaos had a roommate that didn't sleep, and it was confirmed by a sleep study. Wow. Tuesday says, I often feel like my sleep doesn't really rejuvenate me. I mean, that it could be that you aren't reaching the point in the REM cycle where you dream, which that could be it. I don't know. I'm not a sleep scientist. But I mean, that's the lucid dreaming method, I guess, is like a what's it called? I don't know. A sort of, it's by no means a scientific or guaranteed check, but you could try it at least and see if it turns out that you are dreaming, you just don't remember. Often when you do dream, you'll have other dreams that same week. I guess the question to ask is, next time that happens, find out, like, are you feeling more well-rested in a dream week than in a non-dream week? And that might give you information, too. Science. Okay. Minecraft, where should we put this build? Where should we put the necrochanting place? I'm gonna put these in here. Building materials. And I'm gonna grab these for outlining. Oh dear, big stutter? Yeah, seems to have passed. Okay, what was the last clear thing you heard me say? Yeah, I mean, it's definitely my internet. I don't know what my internet's on. You know what, I'm gonna see if... I'm just gonna get, like, a slightly higher view. Are you gonna be annoying to dismount? Okay, I just want to go up just a teeny tiny bit. I just need a higher view. She said ADHD, don't remember the sentence, but where should we build house? Discord is also broken right now. I feel like the Discord being broken is unrelated to the problems that I specifically am having. Because this issue seems to be impacting my internet in general. If I'm stuttering in-game and on stream, I guess Discord is just also down right now. Let me go to down detector and find out what's going on. Yeah, that's a big ol' spike for Discord. I guess Discord's down right now. Now, here's the thing is, if you go to the... Oh, that's true, unless the entire internet is struggling somehow like a solar flare. No, but I have seen... There's, like, various applications or whatever that are all, like, owned by a certain company or whatever. So sometimes if you go to, like, down detector homepage, because here's the thing, is someone will be trying to, Yeah, down detector will be like people will try to use one app, like Discord, for example, and so they'll go, and then it won't work. So they'll go to down detector and they'll report for Discord. But if you go and check, and there's a bunch of things that are down at the same time, then you're like, ah, okay, so there's actually a wider issue going on. Or like, for example, it could be that time that like Rogers was down. Was that just in Canada, or was that like, does anybody remember the day that like Rogers was down, and so like most payment company, like you couldn't use your credit or debit card anywhere because all their card readers were hooked up to the internet? Does anybody remember that? Alright, I'm on the down detector homepage. I'm seeing spikes specifically on like Discord, Best Buy, CIBC, Cloudflare, Steam, Spotify, TeamSpeak. Yeah, like there's quite a few things that are this server's through Cloudflare. Okay, so I think we've cracked it. I think even restarting my router is not going to fix this problem, which is good and bad news. Bad news because it means there's nothing I can do about it. Good news because it's not bad enough that it's stream ending, so I'm just going to keep going with it, and I'm sorry, occasionally it's going to dip. But yeah, that was good detective work, chat, because I actually wouldn't have thought to go check just like the down detector homepage. And I think a lot of people like they'll report their specific app that they're having a problem with. Anyways, that's fun. But now I guess we know something's happening. Okay, is there any way for me to... Do I just have to go in via the roof? I think I have to go in via the roof. There we go. We cracked it! Good job, team! Someone broke the Cloudflare lava lamp wall. Oh no! Yeah, maybe it was just in Canada. Hang on, I want to Google this actually. I want to... I'm on Wikipedia for the 2022 Rogers Communications outage. On July 8th, 2022, Canadian telecom provider Rogers Communications experienced a major service outage affecting more than 12 million users of Rogers cable internet and cellular networks, including the subsidiaries. Yeah, so that's the one that I'm remembering. I remember that specifically because the place that I worked at, the spirits are reminding me not to go AFK while outside. It's okay, I was looking this up on my phone. No, I will not die looking up the 2022 Rogers outage. I was the sun is setting. I had it. I still had the game up on my computer. I was just looking things up on my phone. But yeah, I remember it specifically because July, it was in the summer, and the place where I worked at a park, so like not the best internet. But our sale service, our sales system worked with internet. Our previous one didn't require internet, but it also wasn't connected to the card reader, which means you could get discrepancies on your shift by typing the number in wrong on the card reader by accident. And also it was just bad and it broke, and that's why we got a new one. But the new one required internet, which is dumb because it's a park. We don't got good internet there. And we struggled with it being slow for ages. And finally, tech support showed up and was like, oh yeah, Roger's service is way better than, the service that you're with, which was just obviously the cheapest one that they could find. And all the cheap internet providers are just like, they overload their towers and they don't care. So, it was slow because it was the cheapest option, and also we weren't in a place that had good reception anyways. But Rogers was the one that worked. And honestly, if I had known, see, back then I didn't have data on my phone yet, so I didn't understand how like you could get the internet via like a cellular service. But we all knew, everybody at the park knew that Rogers was the best. If you had a Rogers phone plan, your phone worked the best in the park, and everybody else's phone was kind of varying levels of bad. I could have told them this like a year prior to them realizing that all they had to do was switch to Rogers. And that day was the day that we received the equipment to receive the Rogers internet for our system. So the day that everybody was cursing Rogers for being down and like you couldn't pay for anything with a card, like it was, you can use your phone, etc., etc. Everybody in the country was so mad at them, and we were singing their praises. Cause yeah, it was down that day, but I mean our internet sucked at the park anyways. It wasn't that different, to be honest. It was a little bit different. We did have to do manual transactions, and that kind of sucked a little bit, but it was fine. Not the worst I've had to do at the park. But the next day, Rogers was back up and working, and we had a fast system. So that's why I remember that very specifically. Oh, Tuesday's gotta go. Oh, you're gonna play Repo! Have fun. Alright. Sorry that it was mostly yapping and not a single... I haven't even placed a block. I haven't even picked a location. Lock in. Lock in. Lock in. My source of power is here. Chat, how annoying would it be if I did just build my base over the cow pit? Would this be bad and annoying? Would everybody hate this? Yapping is very fun. Meeper says it would be appropriate. Chaos says not at all annoying. Iylo says it would definitely make them turn their friendly sounds down. Yeah. Depends if you can stand the cow noise. Well, I can. Because due to my magical abilities, I am capable of, just straight up not hearing them. I do actually, on a SMP before I did content, I had a base that was on stilts and just directly above a cow pit. But the vibe of that base is not the vibe of this base, because we want it to be magical. I was considering, for the bit, I was considering just building, like, a giant enchanting table. But I've already done, like, a block-based build in my life series. I had the crafting table base. I feel like if I do it too much, it's just, it's, the gimmick will be overdone. If only sound pollution deterred mobs, you'd be set. Real. Hmm. Oh, hi, Dee. If you want magical mob sounds, may I suggest an ally XP farm? Cows are not very magical. D, you missed the entire lore. You missed the whole lore. We spent like at least 20 minutes deciding my lore. I don't have the book with me. Um, let me, I'll give you the spark notes. I've been calling myself a mage, which is a very generalized, magic user, but we examined what I actually do magically in this server and came up with a bunch of different, more specific names. And we've decided that I'm a necrochanter, which is an enchanter and a necromancer. And behold the source of my power! Because, you know, I literally fueled my enchanting via the cow pit. So, they are in fact very magical. I siphoned their life force to put shiny things on my armor. You know, normal stuff. Would doing this require taking down the cow pit and rebuilding it? I kind of just want to go up. I said behold and they became a slideshow. Yes, this is my slideshow PowerPoint presentation about the source of my power. Yeah, so we're trying to decide where my base goes, and everybody in chat said it won't be annoying if I put it over the cows. But now I'm trying to figure out, like, how to make that work. Behold! Here, let's do another take. Let's do another take. Behold, the source of my power. There. Is that better? Anyways, D, any thoughts of what kind of base a necrochanter would live in? Like, apparently there's gonna be a statue or something over there, so I feel like I shouldn't build it there. Dark and shiny. Yeah, that's kind of about... You need gilded blackstone. D? I don't need gilded blackstone. I'm gonna... Oh, also context, it's gonna be blue. Because I'm the blue lineage, and also, due to synesthesia, enchanter is a blue word. And then it's just gonna have, like, darkness with it, so I've got some deep slate and, some amount of blue terracotta that I got out of the trail ruins. And we'll add to it from there. Skulk time. D! Sorry, hang on. Let me wait for the stream to get back up to... Okay, yeah, stream's back up to proper list now. D! Stop suggesting blocks that are difficult to get. What do you mean, skulk time? I cannot make warden soup on this server. You should make a giant pickaxe and then lean it against the building. Skulk is debatably easy. I don't really feel like getting it. Maybe. It is a nice block. Yeah, Gilded Blackstone's Skulk, totally safe building material to gather for a UHC. Ah. You know, I tried to come up with ideas before this, like, before the stream, so that I would actually be building on the stream. Oversized blue hat, that is kind of why I did away with the wizard. I do love a big hat. I once cosplayed Taco Adventure Zone, and a key part of Taco Adventure Zone is big hat. Um, I think. In fact, I still had that. That was during school, university, and in the last week, for some reason, it was like really hot for the last week. Like, I school is in the fall and winter. I did not bring summer clothes, and so I didn't have like sunscreen or anything. But it was way too hot to wear anything that covered my shoulders properly. But I did have a wizard hat. So I did spend exams week in my last year of school just walking around campus with a wizard hat on, and it was great. I love that you can just do that at university and nobody cares. It's fantastic. A big blue trucker hat? Absolutely not. This is the best piece of Aspen lore. Yeah, it is one of that week was one of the best weeks ever. I think. Like, there's been a lot of great weeks. I don't want to rank them, but that week was great. I had finished all my assignments. Being a social work student, I didn't have exams. The only reason I was still on campus, and I was living in residence at the time still. The only reason I was still on campus is I was finishing up some practicum hours, so I got a special exemption. Like, usually they want you to leave as soon as your exams are done. But I said, well, okay, but practicum's my coursework, and my practicum is on campus, so you should let me stay, actually. Thanks. And they did. So basically, I had 1 week with gorgeous summer-like weather and super easy access to all of my university friends. And, like, no assignments to bog me down. It was fantastic. It was also the week that Sirius and I got together. So, you know, very special time in my life. And part of it was the wizard hat. A math major that Chaos was friends with always came to classes in robe and his slippers. Real. Real. I don't blame them at all. University is just like that. It is the dream. It was a very good week. I took so many photos. I did so many things. I miss it dearly. Yeah, university's not for me for, like, assignment reasons. I loved being on campus and having, like, such an accessible social life. Hmm. Necrochanter. Sorry, what, D? Fred always went snowboarding in a bathroom for spring break? Presumably also in other things, right? And then wear the bathrobe for finals week. That's real. I feel like bathrobe wizards is a type of wizards. Presumably in other things, yes, good. I feel like when people say in a bathrobe, like, generally when you're wearing a bathrobe in, like, the context that the bathrobe is intended to be worn, there's generally not other things. But I have to assume that people who are wearing bathrobes in other contexts are hopefully also wearing other things. They are a special type of wizard. Necrochanter! Necrochanter! This is me. I'm just summoning the build. I don't want to actually have to build it. It's just gonna happen. Hang on. I'm going on Google and I'm going to look up Necromancer House. Just for inspiration. Oh, there's a book called The Necromancer's House, and I'm just getting covers for that. Alright, I'm seeing a lot of your typical medieval fantasy style builds, which is also what you get for just, like, fantasy stuff. I watched a gem tutorial today about how to do a medieval style house. Um, Dee's finished up her video for Spoonicraft episode 7, but has run into a problem where she's got to move her moss farm for the next video, and you're also staring. Listen, the pondering is an important part. I should have logged on to the creative server probably. Chaos wants me to look up abattoirs. Okay, I will look up abattoirs. Yeah, the pondering. Listen, this is like my equivalent of pondering the orb. Which I did consider making an orb base, but I don't think that really fits. By the way, pro tip chat, just if you look up abattoir, content warning for, I mean, it is a slaughterhouse. If you look up abattoir, you're gonna see a slaughterhouse, just content warning. Yeah, this isn't really showing the exterior very much. Yeah, this just looks like a factory. I don't think I'm gonna make my Necrochanter base a factory. We ponderin'. What do you think, hmm? There's no cow pit on the creative server yet, Iylo? What are we even doing? Chaos says it should show the cow to enchanting pipeline in action. That's a good thought. Also, while I'm sitting here pondering, I'm just going to take the opportunity to let you know that since we're coming up on 1 week of starting this server, and I'm still alive, which I kind of almost wasn't expecting, frequency of streams is going to decline slightly. I know I said when this started I was aiming for every other day, and I have been doing every day. I have other things going on, and so need time to do other things sometimes. So I'm probably going to be decreasing it closer to that actual predicted schedule of sort of every other day, roughly. Like, this weekend is pretty jam-packed for me. I don't know if I'm even going to have time for 1 stream, let alone 3, which is what it would be if I did, you know, UHC and my regular Spoonicraft stream and UHC again. So I'm gonna it's probably gonna be, honestly, I probably will do Spoonicraft just because I do that one less often. So there's probably going to be a Spoonicraft stream, and then maybe UHC this weekend, but we'll see. What? You have a life? Yeah, I know, Chaos. It's kind of wild, but I do occasionally. It's Mother's Day this weekend. I'm going to see my parents, and I don't have my streaming set up with my parents. That's kind of the main situation that's going on right now. Um, I don't know what the pipeline is really. It's just kind of I murder them and then I enchant. It could also house, it could house the total, like the whole of the XP farm and just have it like all in a contained space. Apart from like the mining ores to smelt, I could bring the kelp farm inside. I could like make a pool of water. Um have the cows, have the furnaces. Um I guess I couldn't really bring Lenny in there either, or the trees. But I could at least have the furnaces, kelp, and cows, which are kind of central to this. Actually, okay, the cow pit would be funny and annoying and thematic. I actually kind of like the idea of building it over by the kelp farm. I think that would be nice, because I don't know if the build that I'm going for... frames are dropping again. I don't know if the, like, vibe of the build that I'm going for is gonna fully fit with... I don't really know what theme we're going for, but, like, I don't know. I think part of the issue I'm having is putting it out here. I don't know if it'll fit, but if I put it round back where people aren't gonna see it as much, I feel like it fits over here, and like with it being blue and it's gonna be by the water, like I could put it up here, and then this sort of gives me like a space to work with as well. Like this could, I feel like this actually might be a nice area. I feel more inspired by this area than just building it over the cows. Because I can build it over the cows. I've done that before, but that was like a stilts house, and I did it in a different style. That's closer to my rickety style of things. So I'm just gonna explore this area a little bit then. I feel like playing with the water in the base could really give it some fun shape. And as we know, I am all about shape. Like, I could clear out some trees here if I wanted to put something here. But there's quite a bit of, stuff to work with. There's a pit here. This is more water. Oh, there's quite a bit of a pit here, actually. The pit intrigues me. I think this would be a bit close to where Withered wants to put a tower, though. Yeah, that's a cave. It's probably big spooky cave. If I could tie that in, that technically puts the ores to my base. What's the situation down here? Dark. See, this is a great depth for, like, typically what I do for a kelp farm, but that's a great way for me to drown and lose a lot of unnecessary hearts. So I wouldn't move it in there. One might even call it a cave. Yes, it is a cave entrance, it seems. But I like this area. I think I'm gonna put my base here. Which means I'm gonna clear all the grass out of it because it annoys me and gets in the way of my planning. The tall grass over there was annoying me. It makes it hard to see the whole area. So I'll probably have to do some terraforming to get it to be exactly the sort of shape that I want. Now, would moving the cows over here cause problems? Research question. because they'd be a little bit closer to the house, but they're already pretty close to the house. Like, I think it wouldn't make a difference. Yeah, I also like that it's right along the path here, so it's still connected to everything. I definitely want to shape the ground a little bit in the area. But yeah, I think this, yeah, the path kind of leads just right up to this and sections it off. So this is where I'm gonna put the base. I might not even level out the terrain. I kind of like it being kind of tiered. And it can once again add some cool shape to the base of the base. The base. Yeah. We'll have it here. I'm gonna move this block though. And maybe fill this in a little bit. Shape! Aspen shape. Yeah. Chaos lurking again. Good luck with the call. I'm pondering again. I gotta think of the angles. Where are we gonna see it from? Where are we gonna approach it from? We got this nice loop of water that goes most of the way around. Oh, hi, Twist. Good to see ya. We're pondering. I spent the first, 2 hours of this stream yapping. It was a good yap, and we were productive, in deciding some of the lore stuff. But now we are working on, figuring out what my base is actually gonna look like. TLDR, I'm a necrochanter. An enchanter who is trying to do necromancy, because that's funny on a UHC. So right now I'm trying to decide what my base is gonna look like. We picked a spot. We picked this spot. We were considering building over the cow pit, because that is the source of my power. You know, my enchanting is fueled by my murder. It's not quite necromancy, it's just kind of killing, but, you know, it's necromancy related. Um, and now I'm just trying to decide what a necrochanter base would look like. something magical for the enchanter. Hmm. The XP stuff. I keep coming back to orbs. Like, XP is orbs. Receiving messages from the beyond, I feel like, you know, there's an orb to ponder there. Gorbs. Yeah, let me just build a Gorbs base real quick. Um, yeah, it's actually just kind of those two things, but that's the idea that keeps coming back into my head. That I'm just trying to think of, like, how would I turn orbs into a build? I don't want to do like a snow globe style build that's just one big orb. I feel like that would just really not be very cohesive with the area. I feel like collections of smaller orbs, again, especially if I'm drawing from like XP, that's just a lot of little orbs. Yeah, I'm thinking bubble rooms. And then my brain immediately thought those like McDonald play place little bubbles they have in the tunnel sometimes that you can like look out of. And that makes it twice that I've described my builds as McDonald's play places. But kind of it's a vibe that I enjoy. This is another perspective. Here, there we go. Let's get all that junk out of the way. Bases will always have something in common just because they're Aspen bases. This is true. And I think, again, the McDonald's play place inspiration in my building techniques in general is just like, it's a thing I draw on. I like my bases to be weird and quirky shapes. I don't know if I've ever just built a square base. I mean, I have, but not in a while. And generally not in, like, a content space. Orbular. I have good news. I'm pondering still, but I'm beginning to get a vision. I was also picturing round bottom flasks, yeah? Could just make it look like a sideways flask, that'd be funny. Um, I'm picturing kind of like, because with the framing of it all, this, here, I'll bring back the crosshair so you can see what I'm pointing at. Um, this is kind of like, this point feels like where the main part of the build is going to be. So I'm picturing like kind of a large orb here, and then some kind of structure that comes off of it over here that would have smaller orbs that maybe sort of protrude off of it. And I feel like the sort of the orbs would be made out of different colors of glass. Oh, there's pillagers! There's pillagers! Panic, 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 panic. We're done pondering. We're done pondering. I'm going inside the house. Panic, 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 panic. Wait, I think I just watched one of them either did you just despawn? Why are there only 2 now? And where are they going? Usually they don't walk around like that unless they're locked on. What are they doing? Could do something cauldron-like, but I didn't really want to lean too much into the witch vibes. What are they doing? Well, the good news is that I have a bow now. We should have roof access, other than me just mining a hole in the roof. Alright, let's get him. Cool. I'll fix that later. This is the roof access now. Oh, now they're getting close. Now they're within range. Oh, I'm a fool. Alright, sorry. Quick second. Make some planks. Make some sticks. Make a stone pickaxe. Yay. Yeah, sorry, just brief interlude in the middle of this fight. Alright, and now let's go cheese it through the floor. Are they still locked on? Where are they? Ah! Arr. Where are they going? What are you guys doing? I'm right here. I hear him moving. Bro, can you stand somewhere useful, please? Like, buddy! They're not mad at me anymore. And why do I only see one now? There was definitely more. There we go. Now I've got his attention. There were definitely at least 2 that ran over here. So where is the other one? I'm like pretty well geared up. I think if I do like a really quick run around, like I've got a shield. I'm just gonna do a quick run around and make sure that these guys aren't sitting somewhere that they're gonna take me by surprise if I go back to pondering. That's really weird that they all just despawned like that. Clearly my necromancer aura was simply too much for them. Alright, well I think I'm fine. Alright, well I guess it was just the one guy that I had to fight. Cool. While I'm here, I'm gonna drop some stuff off in the chest. I say while I'm here, I don't go very far to ponder. Oh wait, I have more stick. I don't need more. You'd think they'd be into necromancy with the totems and stuff. True. Alright, well that was a fun distraction. I guess we gotta sleep again before I can go back to pondering. Ponder, ponder, ponder. Actually, you know what I'm gonna do? Just while I'm pondering, it occurs to me that this might be a good idea. Hang on. Hopefully that's enough, and if... I don't know why I grabbed the oak stuff, I want it to be cohesive. I didn't do this color for any particular palette, necessarily, I just, I feel like with how much I run back here, I feel like this is probably a good idea. Just put up a little guardrail. I mean, you can still fall down that way, but I think just... really just right there. And if you end up accidentally jumping off here, you're basically guaranteed to end up in the water. My headphones were falling off, and I just put them back on properly, and my audio experience is totally different. I forgot these are noise isolating, and it's not often that I have them falling off, but it's just, it was pressing down on the top of my head quite a bit, so I moved them closer to the back of my head where I don't normally have them. And now I'm fully experiencing the, like, actual impact that these have. Well, you know what? I know that I want an orb there, so I'm going to build the shape of an orb. This seems like a good orb width. Like, we'll start with the base circle and then work from there. Not very round. Maybe I make it one bigger. Should have kept the shovel with me, I'm realizing. I literally made a shovel for this and then I put the shovel away. Do we have any doors sitting around? Yeah, I'm just gonna real quick install a door. I hope you don't mind. But running around the house is a little bit annoying. I'm just gonna put a back door like right here. It doesn't have to be permanent, but I don't think anything can get past that. So it's fine. I'm so sorry, Iylo's build. And now I can get out here faster. Alright, let's make this one bigger. Now, the base of the circle should actually be smaller, I think, but I still want this to be a usable space. Like, I might actually be making the orb too large. This might be, I might have to actually raise this up and have this be sort of the center of the orb. But I'm not gonna have it start, like, at the very bottom part of the orb, which I feel like would sort of be, like, I think this would be the very bottom, and that's not a usable space at all. Is this more? That's gonna be more orbular, I think. Or what if I do, making circles in the block game sure is a fascinating process. Yeah, that's round enough. That's round enough, I think. We're achieving shape! That's one of the most exciting parts. Meeper's just making a mountain in Tomodachi Life? That does sound like quite the undertaking. Alright. Orb. Let's go ponder the orb. Yeah, I think it can be, like, when it goes up, it can be maybe 1 or 2 wider. So now we have to visualize this from the bottom. Because that will be quite tall. I think at the middle it could be... I don't know. We'll make it big, and if it's too big, then we'll make it smaller. How about that? So let's see. Where do I want the ground to be? It is getting dark. I'm gonna grab a bed, actually, and bring it out here, since I'm gonna be spending some time there now. The good news is despite the fact that I spent, like, 2 hours sort of meandering, now that I've locked in, we do still have, like, I've been at this since, roughly the 2-hour mark. I still got an hour and a half left, and I actually have ideas now. Which is a rather crucial part of the process. Alright, there. Now I just have a bed. Okay, so let's imagine... Let's imagine that we're looking at this... This is like a 2D drawing, I guess. Because if we want it to be like a perfectly round orb, it's gonna be this shape when you look at it from the side, too. I do think I want it bigger. I think I want to make it 2 bigger. Which I think means 1 smaller at this ground. Oh, Discord's back. That's nice. Maybe stream too. Okay, so currently... And now we're seeing that my visualization is only so-so in my brain. It was Discord-nected, now it is record-nected. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's 5 on each side, and then I've got this middle block. So if I go up 5, we will have middle block. I think? Yes. And if I want to add one, if I want it to be 2 wider, then I guess we go up 7? let's try that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And that's gonna be the midway point. It's quite high up already. But building it up here means we can work from the highest point. But actually, that's right, I don't want the base to be exactly the middle. So actually we can bring this down. Because let's say the very base of this would be 5 wide. So having it... I think having this 6 wide on the ground. So I guess we can lower it 1. I don't know if any of this is making sense. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. And the middle block is here. It's quite a large orb. Let's make sure that this is sufficient. Oh yeah, and I've been thinking, I just remembered as I dropped into the water, I was like, maybe when I'm building I should set up some water around it so that if I fall, well, I guess I'm doing that kind of naturally. That's a large orb. I don't mind the width. I think I kind of want it down 1 or 2. Like I want the widest point to be kind of here. Is anyone sad they didn't add crabs to Minecraft? I thought Minecraft was such a cool, just like, name. And they didn't add Minecraft, and I'm sad. I wish we had Minecraft. I'm thinking about this because of the further reach that we would have gotten from the claws. The rhythm agrees. Yeah, we could have had Minecraft. It would have been so funny. Funny silly. Meepers also voted Minecraft. I'm glad we have Minecraft sympathizers here. Yeah, I think the lower one works, so I'm gonna have to bring them down again. And I think they can even be shorter in that case. Crabs should have come before copper golems. Love little guys, but man. Yeah, fair enough, Iylo. See, I don't need copper golems because I just like organize my own stuff. Alright, let's check the vibes on this one. Did I make those uneven? One of them looks longer than the other. Somehow. I think I did. Either way, I like the wider one, so I'm gonna go add that block back on. What? No way, are they actually even? There's 5 on that side. Oh no, and there's 6 on that side. Okay. There we go. I didn't mess that up on this side, did I? The 6 on this side? Yeah. And 6 on that. Yeah, 6 on that side. Nap time. Okay, so there we go. That's orb shape. Orb shape. I don't know length of sides. Does that go over the middle? Which block of that goes over the middle? Unclear. I think it would be more orbular if I had this come up one more here. Like that. That is an orb. What do we think, chat? Should I lower it one more? Because I almost want to. I actually am not in. Yeah. I think I lower it one more, and I think maybe I don't entirely go for like a full on, like, perfect sphere. I think I kind of want it to be. I want it wider in the middle. I don't want it as tall as it is wide. Okay, we bring it down one more. I'd be surprised if I managed to do this whole build without taking any fall damage. I haven't so far, but like, it's a tall build. It's only a matter of time, right? I took so much damage building my starter base on Spoonicraft. Yeah, this feels better. Okay, so I'm gonna work on the arc over top first then, I think. Alright, I guess how does it connect to the ground? I think I can probably dig up this at this point. No, Chaos, I'm not done yet. You've been gone like 15 minutes, I think. This is. We are approaching optimal shape, I think. Tuesday got blowed up, oh no! Yeah, those bots. Those bots, eh? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Shape? Are you shape? Are you shape? Oh, isn't it? Yeah, there we go. I knew it. I knew it. Doesn't even feel that bad, honestly. It was bound to happen. Can I have a sleep, please? It's dark out. Thank you. No. This is not shape. I think adding stairs into the mix will help. I know I said I'm making this out of glass, but I think we can reevaluate that as needed. If I was a professional sleeper, I've had a clock on me. Well, it seems I'm not a professional sleeper then. This might be shape. Minecraftshapes.com. Oh, you're sending a link. Yeah, I'm getting there. I feel like I learn more if I do it myself. Now we're getting somewhere. Not quite there, but we're getting close. Yeah, so that's very ovalish now. I'm wondering if maybe lowering it was not the move. I'm thinking either that or we bring this up a little bit more. I'm gonna remove these for now just because they're kind of in the way of me seeing stuff. Alright. Gotta go make a new shovel. I'll grab some stew while I'm in there. Milked suspiciously. I just need it to squish up a little bit. Chaos is regretting coming to work today. Oh no. I'm so sorry. You're having not a good time at work. I almost kind of want to plot it out on the ground again, just to like... because it's easier to do it on a flat surface where I don't have to worry about fall damage. So what have we got? Well, we'll just start with an edge of 5. And then 2 down. Excuse me. And then 1 down, 1 down. And then 3, 1, and 1. And then we just repeat that over here. So this is the current shape, roughly. So first thing I want to try is moving these in 1. getting closer doesn't feel as round, though. Now, what if we did this? That's not bad, actually. What do we think? Nods orb. Good. I might do something just with the sides over here. But I think on the whole that's a good orb shape to go for. Minecraft days go by so quickly. Never used to notice. Yeah, we're getting somewhere. I'm just gonna take this down for a bit. I don't think we need it right now. Oh wait, actually, there we go. Yeah, I think I just want it to come in like a little bit more like that at the bottom, just so you get like a sense of it being an orb. I don't know. Like, there's gotta be some rounding at the bottom. I'm comparing the two. Actually, I do like the one on the left more. I don't know, it feels more solid somehow. Alright, so center block. There's 4. So actually I think my initial thing that I plotted out would be the correct floor space. Would it just come together like that, I guess? Yeah. This part of it I want to be like fairly circular, the inside part. So I think this is on this scale kind of the most circular you're gonna get. I don't know if any of you have heard of the loosest of gooses, but at one point I was on his community server. I was part of Society. That was the group I ended up joining. I was there when they started Society, and was sort of like part of that founding group. This does not feel round enough. But I haven't played in ages. But the point being that you know, we were getting stuff set up, and they made like a storage space. And there was one specifically for all the different wood types, I think. Or no, it was for stone because we were mining early game. It was for stone, and they called it Woodley. And then we just started calling everything like whatever resource it was for that, and then add ly at the end. And I ended up kind of working. I think I ended up working on the farms. And so you might guess that the storage for that ended up being called Wheatley. And yeah, I don't know if okay, that's better. I don't know if I got super involved with like the farm itself necessarily. I know, shocker, considering all the stuff I'm doing there. But I I was like Wheatley, like from Portal 2, and so I decided that our wheat storage, our Wheatley, was going to have to be Wheatley from Portal 2. And I never actually ended up making it in game because it's a survival world, and you gotta like collect a lot of concrete, and I never got around to getting enough concrete for the build. I mean, I'm pretty sure they've got like a bajillion resources by now. I've seen some of the stuff they're building, it's wild. But I never got around to building Wheatley. But I did planning on their creative server, and so I do actually have some experience with Orb. That's what all this is to say, is I do have some experience with Make Orb. And it was so that I could make Wheatley Portal 2 for the Loosest of Gooses community server. Chaos knows of Loosest via Hey It's Emily and Jitterybug. I don't know them, but yeah, I found the Loosest of Gooses when his sort of all the color Minecraft color theory videos, he like put them into one major one, and then because he just put all the videos together, at the end of each one he mentioned his Discord server, and then he ended up mentioning it like 5 times, and then at the end he was like, oops, didn't mean to mention it like so many times, haha, silly. But then everyone was like, oh, that's really funny, I guess I'll go join your Discord, and then he got like really big, so I was like, I was there like as he was getting bigger, which was kind of cool. But there was like a lot of people on the server, and I was doing my own content stuff, so it was kind of hard to keep up with. Also, just sort of playing casually on that server, unfortunately. Iylo loves the trend of referring to video game characters as first name, or first name, last name, game name. Wheatley Portal 2, Sans Undertale, John Halo. Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, that's where they're from. D also knows the color theory videos. Yeah, they were so good. I mean, that's why he got big for them. They're good videos. Yeah, they're well worth a watch. Really solid stuff. Um, but yeah, orb time. It occurs to me that if I want this to look the same from the other direction, this actually is gonna be... No, it should work on this scale too. Hang on. It should work. I think I know what I'm doing. Oh, I can't. I have to go down from here. Oh, I should have left that block there. Now I gotta go out again. It's fine. I had a dream the other night that I was at the restaurant that Ceres and I usually go for, like, special occasions that you might go out for dinner for. And we'd become, I guess, such regular customers that they were, like, celebrating us being there or something. I don't know why I'm just randomly remembering this, but it just popped into my brain. That's what I dreamt about last night. It just keeps, like, returning to my brain. Like, just because, you know, dreams have, like, a vibe to them. And the vibe of that dream just keeps returning to my brain. Dunno why. There, that was a much more effective way to do that. There we go! Orb shape! Orb shape! Orb shape! Made orb shape. Orb shape exists. I almost want there to be just a little bit that sticks out. Aww. Meepers hasn't been able to make a card for Mother's Day, but their siblings said they can share. That's so sweet. I will consider this for orb shape. I will ponder it even. But for now, I'm gonna leave it at this, I think. And I'm also gonna take this down. Don't need this now. There we go. Yeah, it almost wants to come out a little bit more on the sides, I think. Nope. Wrong, incorrect, incorrect, wrong, incorrect. Unclear what it is that my brain wants me to do, but I'm just gonna stick with this then. There we go. We have orb. That's good. We have orb. I'm just closing in these gaps, because I want the floor to be here, but there can be overhangs sort of beyond that. So this is the orb floor, which will become something other than dirt at some point. And I'm going to end up taking out this sort of section to connect to whatever the rest of the build's going to be. The floorb, as Iylo says. It's going to be the floorb. Now I gotta connect this stuff up. That should be fine and doable. Not as orbular when I take out those corner blocks. Okay, well we've got the structure of this. I'm gonna worry about the finicky details like connecting it all together later. Now that we've got that, I want to figure out what I want the rest of the build to be. And we've got about 45 minutes left. I generally plan streams to be about 4 hours, give or take. So there's our orb, roughly. I might still mess with the shape a bit, but that is about the size and placement that I want. Now we gotta figure out what attaches to it. Because I want there to be orbs coming off of that too, but whatever it is has to also be something. We've got orbs for enchanting, XP, pondering. Beepers is saying a skull. Yeah, I was thinking like we gotta incorporate the necromancy somehow. I feel like if I was gonna have a skull, I would make it the main orb though. Which is not out of the question. This could become a skull. Currently, it's just dirt. I truly am pondering the orb. I keep thinking of like Grian's what season? Was it season 9? His starter base was like a shoe. And I don't want to do exactly that, but it's that kind of like the shaping and the proportions, right? Because there was like a sort of a tall section and then a wide section that was like the shoe part and it had like a curly thing on it or whatever. I don't know. My brain's giving me like magical wisps, but that's also hard to make into a base. So like, I don't know. If you make it tendrils could look at like it's some kind of thing some if we make it like dark tendrils could be some kind of like necromancy thing that's breaking through the earth surrounding the orb. And I could do bridges in that style as well because I feel like putting a base here, I want several bridges in different directions. Um I do not remember if it had a copper roof meepers. Let me look up which season the Grian's base was in. Grian starter base season 9. Yes, it was season 9. It did have a copper roof, that's right. Guess I could bring the bed over to the pondering spot. I'm pondering the pond, even. I'm pondering the orb and I'm pondering the pond. Yeah, I feel like building was maybe a strong term to use in my stream title, considering this is kind of all we've got to show for it, but soon. It will happen. Maybe if I look at it from a different angle, this is not the only way people are going to see it. They're most likely going to see it from over here. Feels very tall from over here, actually. I wonder if I can make use of this slope actually and have sort of a cascading down effect in some capacity. So maybe I don't make it tall, maybe I make it go down. I don't know, here it wants to be tall, over there it wants to go down. Skull's not a bad idea. Cause then it could kind of feel like um you've come across a death, right? Like the skull. I mean, that's literally how it works here, right? Like, if we come over here, there's a skull on the ground. Well, it's not a skull, it's a face, but like, there is a skull in there. And, I mean, I guess the XP is, I don't know if the XP scattered, I didn't pay attention, but, I didn't pay attention to the XP, I was a little distracted. But then, yeah, the big orb could actually maybe be a skull, and then there could just be a smattering of smaller orbs around here that's like XP, and those are smaller rooms of some function. I'd still like them to be connected so that it's actually like a base, but yeah, F's in chat for Spiff. But thank you for being a helpful explanation uh, of what I'm suddenly envisioning. Now, this would mean that I would kind of want to do the base in, like, green and yellow instead of blue. The thing is, green and yellow are kind of not my favorite color. We could do, like, blue and gold, maybe. That's not too far off. And I'll have to think of a good block for the skull. I mean, I do have Silk Touch on my axe, so... And we need lots of mushrooms, so I could totally just... I could mine up the stems of some giant mushrooms and then, harvest the leaves with a non-Silk Touch axe. Or leaves, what am I talking about? The, like, actual mushroom bits with a non-Silk Touch axe. Dia de las Muertes sugar skull. Oh! Yeah, those are pretty. That would be very cool. That's a really good idea. I could even have, like, it probably won't be a functional part of the build, but I could even have the, like, sorry, chicken, you're gonna have to die. I have to demonstrate something. Um, oh, yeah, those. The little white particles. I could have those sort of coming up around the skull. Convenient chicken. And then that really does talk about, like, it's the death into the magic type of vibes. I think that could work. Now, which way is the skull facing? I think people are typically going to see it from either we're gonna install a proper backdoor somewhere, so they'd be coming at it from here or the main pathway. Like, even if I make bridges, people are gonna come at it mostly from those directions, I think. So having the face somewhere in this direction is probably a good idea. I actually kind of want to take down this part of the dirt now. Because it's fine here, but I feel like, especially along here, it's very high. I might even lower it lower than the path. Because I want the XP orbs to... What? What just hurt me? Oh. Well, good to know that I'm building this on haunted grounds. There's ghosts here. Alright, gotta go get a new shovel. I might make a diamond shovel. We have enough diamonds. Yeah, I think lowering that is gonna be... We could even, honestly, we could have the orbs floating in the water. That would be kind of cool. Yeah, all good. I'm pretty kitted out here. I'm not gonna take that many hearts from a little ghostly punch. That's fine. You know, I'm taking that as just an endorsement from the spirits beyond that this is the correct place to be building um the necrochanter space. You know what? Actually, I've got levels. Let's go see if I can get efficiency on this. I would like efficiency on this. Excuse me, George. Fortune. Efficiency 2. I'll take it. Actually, what's my book offering me? Power 3? Nah, oh, wait. Oh, I thought it said efficiency 3. No, I was just still seeing the 3 from the power. Alright, sure. Efficiency 2. I'll take it. What are you offering me? That one's efficiency 4. But it'll probably offer me something different on the shovel. That's fine. I'll take efficiency 2. This is moderately better, question mark? Not actually sure. That's fine. Yesterday I went to go make myself some tuna salad before stream and found that our can opener was gone. It's because my partner went to like brought it to work to make pizza bagels for her coworkers, which is very nice and sweet. But I didn't get to have my tuna salad. So I'm hoping that there will be can opener tonight. And I think I'm gonna have that for dinner. Or I could do soup. Many possibilities. It feels weird to me that it's almost 7 and it's still light out. I'm like, why am I hungry? It's because it's almost dinner time. Ah, I'm full of dirt. Time to go deposit the dirt. Now, smaller orbs are going to be more annoying to make. Probably don't need all this either. That's my project box now. It's not close to the actual project, but that's fine. So I still want the terrain to feel fairly natural. I don't know why I feel like there should be a dip here, but I just do. I want it to be more pronounced too, I think. I truly do not know how to explain the vibes, but that's all I'm following. Vibes-based terraforming. So I'm trying to think also, like, what I want to do for, like, the bridges and stuff. If we had any thoughts on those. Like, they could just be regular bridges, and I don't know how many I'm gonna do, but I think it'd be nice to at least have one that's, like, directly from the house to over here. Because, I mean, I know there's literally one right there. I clearly don't use it. I do just swim through every time. And I think also maybe having something over the kelp. I don't know. I'm so locked in on dirt of all things. The kelp gets a sun umbrella for good behavior. I think the kelp wants the sun, though, does it not? Like, that's why it gets so big. It's reaching for those rays. Yeah, it's getting to be a little bit steep, which is slightly less natural looking, but I don't know. My brain is chasing a vibe. Unclear. As in unclear what my brain wants. I feel like having it spread over there looks too symmetrical. I think I'm gonna help make this look less symmetrical by having there be like a front to the skull. I realize I'm setting myself up for a diagonal build, which is a choice for someone who frequently declares that they're not really sure if they're a builder. I don't know if having that curve around that way adds too much symmetry. Feels bean-shaped right now. Don't really know if I was going for bean. What is skull shape? How do look like skull? I think we'll have like the jaw is buried underneath. Chaos says, I knew you were a builder, you're just still in training. That's true. I'm very still in training. I'm figuring out where the center of the face is, by the way. That's what all this is. Like if you've ever seen where the artists draw a line down the middle, find out where the center is. Trying to get ahead in the game. I really am. I feel like, okay, foreheads stick out more than this. Ah! Dang it. Landed the jump. Didn't stick the landing. Chaos is refereeing the pun game again, I see. Eye sockets is a shape, question mark? Oh, quitting time. Congrats, Chaos. You made it through the workday, even though it sounds like it kind of sucked a lot. Times like these where I wish I had free cam. Yeah, I don't think I'm figuring out a diagonal build in the next 9 minutes, I'm gonna be real. It does look like a face, like this looks like a screaming mouth with eyes, but I was going for that being the nose. And we don't really have room for, like, mouth teeth down here at this point. We can lower it still. We can bring this back even more. I think this is something I'm really gonna have to bring over to the creative world, and so I can fly around. Because this requires a lot of flying around at this point. Like, that's nothing. That's not anything. I need to bring shape to creative world, and then I can mess with it properly, and maybe even in a proper palette. Iylo will work on that. Well, good news, Iylo, I'm not going to be hopping on right away because I have to go do laundry, and I have to eat dinner, etc. A bit glad of your helmet face at the moment, but yeah. Yeah, that's also the vibes I was getting, Meepers. But yeah, we started the stream off with the sleep. I think I'm gonna end the stream off with the sleep. I'm not sleeping at the dirt helm. I'll deal with my inventory another day. It is what it is. Alright. There's our little nippy nap. And another drop in frames just to end off the stream. But while it's looking good, thank you so much for watching. Despite the technical difficulties, thank you for sitting with me through the brainstorming process and helping me make a lot of decisions. I feel like I really have a good direction now. It's not the direction I expected to be going, but I'm feeling inspired. I'm excited about this build. I genuinely don't actually know what my stream schedule is going to be. You're either gonna get, like, early morning or afternoon stream from me tomorrow, or, like, very brief afternoon stream from me on Sunday. That's, like, the time slots that I have open. But I don't know if it's going to be UHC or Spoonicraft, and I don't know if there's even going to be more than one. I'm gonna try for at least one, but genuinely, I don't actually know if I'm gonna be able to do even that. But I'm gonna try for one, probably Saturday, because I've got a little bit more time, but we'll see. Probably depends on how early I get up. But for now, thank you all so much, and since I'm still alive, we'll see you in the next one. Bye!
I feel like there's gotta be someone who's made some kind of, like, beat out of the ho sound. 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 kind of like beat